Here we are then, the first save of FM23 with my team Southampton. We have finally got rid of Ralph Hasenhüttl. I have taken charge and I will lead us to probably mid-table mediocrity. Unlike a lot of videos that you'll probably see over the next couple of days, I'm not going to go in depth into all the new features. I might skim over them as I come across them, but for the most part, we're just doing a Let's Play. So immediately we take a look then at the best 11, and I'd kind of have to agree. The only thing, potentially, obviously, real life and in-game stats are probably slightly different. Diallo, maybe not as good as Lavia. Otherwise, I'd say this isn't too dissimilar to what you'd expect. Livramento may be over Walker-Peters, but obviously he currently has his injury as well. What do the board want us to do then? They do not want us to sign old players, and by old I mean over the age of 28, which is perfectly fine, because I'm not planning on doing that anyway. High-tempo pressing football, fair enough. Using the youth system, I will try and do that, but this is probably only going to be about 3 seasons long, this save, so not sure how many players we're going to get through the youth intakes. We are also looking for under 23s for the first team and under 19s for the future. This one's a bit of a worry. Sign players to sell for a profit. It's accurate, but I don't really want to do it. And the supporters then, they want us to play youth players, they want us to play entertaining and attacking football. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. They want us to stay in the Premier League, beat Portsmouth and beat Bournemouth, or finish ahead of Bournemouth. If we get the chance to beat or play against Portsmouth, obviously, we're not going to play them anytime soon. So I think from a tactics perspective, I am by no means a tactical expert. In fact, I don't know tactics at all. We're going to go for the 4-3-3 gegenpress straight out of the box. We need to play gegenpress, basically. They want us to play pressing football, attacking football, things like that. You kind of have to play gegenpress. This is what I'm going to go with, partially because I think it sort of matches what Southampton normally play. We seem to play sort of 3 central midfielders at the moment. You've got one who is normally, I think, against Bournemouth recently, it was Maitland-Niles, who was kind of the deeper player. He was kind of doing a lot more of the running. You had El Yunusi, I think it was, and James Ward-Prowse sort of in the middle. So we kind of have 3 midfielders, arguably. It's kind of more like that, isn't it? We've got like this weird line of footballers that we seem to play, like Joe Aribo might be the one sat in there. I've also just changed that role. What was it? It was Carolero. We're going to go for a Carolero. So that's what we're going to go for. I think we've got the players to fit into this, but the reason why I wanted to put a formation in is so we can have a look at the squad planner. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to go into taking a look at every single new feature, but this one really does interest me. This is the one that I think I'm going to get the most use out of, because I never planned for the future, and now we can. So skimming through the positions, left wing, we've got a lot of players who are capable of playing there. Not many who are actually good. And by good, I mean not many who are 3.5 star. Adam Armstrong and El Yunusi are our 2 best left wingers, which I'd argue they're not the greatest. On the right-hand side, we've got Armstrong and Aribo, who Armstrong, I think 3 star is a bit harsh for Armstrong. He's a very good footballer. Joe Aribo, I'm probably going to use him more as a box-to-box midfielder, which he can't do. Ward-Prowse can do that. Ward-Prowse can do that. Ward-Prowse can do all of those. Basically, what I'm trying to say is we need to kind of start planning for what positions we need, what we potentially don't need. I don't think we need a striker because we've got Adams, we've got Mara, and I think in 2 seasons' time, Mara will be better than Shea Adams, so that's quite good to see. And financially, we've got £20 million to spend. I don't know who to buy. Now, I would argue that we potentially need to bring in another goalkeeper, which is strange because Gavin Bazunu should be our number 1 goalkeeper, but he's only 2.5 star current ability. Although, do we risk playing Gavin? I think we're probably going to risk playing him. I think potentially a central midfielder, maybe somebody like a box-to-box, because you can see our 3 central midfielders is Ward-Prowse, Diallo and Lavia, and they fit all 3 positions. So if we were to drop them off, Maitland-Niles, Maitland-Niles actually isn't a terrible option. You can play in a few of those roles. Aribo as well isn't a terrible option, and that's it. So maybe we need to bring in another midfielder, potentially a defensive midfielder, to be sort of fighting for Diallo. Maybe that's what we need to look at. So I've just set up 3 recruitment focuses. Basically, we're looking to bring in a DLP, a left winger, and a striker. The striker, I'm saying, bring one in on loan. Basically, he's going to come in kind of as another option similar to what Broja was last season. So hopefully we can have somebody potentially young who can come off the bench, maybe do something. I was trying to sign Graziano Pella back to the club. He didn't accept my contract. Apparently 10 grand a week isn't enough money for a 37-year-old. We've gone forward a few more days. It's now mid-July and we have some transfer business to talk about. 2 players leaving the club. First of all, Theo Walcott has left moving across the border and then on another boat to the island where Ajaccio is. He is signed for the French team for, not a lot, 300,000 pounds. I think we're also paying some of his wages as well. El Yunusi, however, has gone and got on a plane and flown all the way to Mexico, I believe. And he's gone for a fair amount of money, £8.25 million, for a player who I don't think is that good. And joining the club then, we've signed a 32-year-old Finnish striker called Timo Pukki because he knows goals. He knows goals. And if there's a problem that Saints have in real life at the moment, is scoring goals. Timo Pukki should be able to solve that problem. He's 32. It's fine, it's only a game. We've also spent £15 million on Frank Onyeka from Brentford, who I think this is actually a pretty good signing. He's come in as a squad player. 15 is reasonably cheap, I think, in nowadays money. It's hurting my brain to spend that amount of money on a backup player, but Frank Onyeka's come in, and I think we've got ourselves some very good defensive midfielders now. He can also play, obviously, as central midfield as well. I think our midfield's sorted. We just need a left winger. And I've been trying to get them to find me a left winger, and they searched, and they found literally nobody. Nobody at all. So I'm wondering whether we change it to just that and that. I mean, I've said any role. Just do that. Can I restart? Is that going to restart it? Okay, so it's there immediately, and all of a sudden we've got lots of people that they found. I'm not quite sure how they've managed to do this. So I'm going to take a look at some of these players and see who is of interest to me. Pion Sisto for £120,000 sounds very promising. Peter Olayinka as well. I mean, that's cheap. I'm putting in bids for players that I really should not be bidding for. A week later, and 2 more bits of business have now been completed. Pion Sisto is the first one to join. He's cost £3 million, which is probably more money than he perhaps should have cost, but he's a very good player in my opinion. Is he good? I don't know. We'll find out. And if he isn't any good, Peter Olayinka is going to be there trying to basically steal that position away from him as well. He has come in for £4.9 million, potentially rising up to a massive £5 million. That £100,000 that we refused to pay them, they're going to get that at some point. And I think realistically, that's probably our business, isn't it? We've done a lot. We've spent 102 million in theory, when you include all of the other transfers that have gone through, when you've got the Bazunus, the Lavias, the Chileta Sars, I think that's how it's pronounced, Adozi, Mara, Aribo, Bella Kotchap, Larios, all costing a fair amount of money, and then me coming in with my big money signings of Onyeka, Pukki, Sisto, and Olayinka. We're going to go forward now to the first game of the season, which is Newcastle. Great, they're definitely not going to have spent a lot of money. So it is now the day of the Newcastle game, and I completely skipped past this piece of news, but this is definitely new, and I think this is quite interesting. Board expectations, they expect us to draw, and Rasmus Ankerson is eager to see pressing football style being played. Fair enough. The fans, we are at St James's Park, so they've travelled a very, very long way to get to watch this game. Emmanuel Stewart, the supporter spokesman, has said, anticipating being spoiled by some exciting attacking football, looking forward to witnessing plenty of entertaining football, and hoping to see Frank Onyeka make his debut. Well, Emmanuel, that might happen. I don't know. So I mentioned earlier on in the video that this is the formation we are going to go for. I've set up 2 more, and by setup, I've literally just taken them out of the box. We've got a 5-2-3 wing play, which seems to have 7 defensive players and 3 attacking players, which I weirdly quite like. And then we've got the same formation, but on a direct counter-attack. I'm thinking we are going to go for this one. So this is what we're going to go for our first starting lineup then. It's going to be Bazunu in goal, Bella Kotchap, Lianco and Chileta Sarr as our defence. It's going to be Walker Peters, Diallo, Ward-Prowse and Perrault as our defensive midfield? Wing-back? I don't really know what to call that, because I'd expect those two to be slightly further up the pitch, but they're not. Anyway, Armstrong and Olayinka will be our wingers, with Shea Adams leading the line. Stuart Armstrong, by the way. Subs bench you can see there. It's a pretty decent, pretty strong subs bench. Timo Pukki might be making his debut today. We also need to make sure Frank Onyeka comes on the pitch as well, to make sure Emmanuel's happy. I have actually not played a match in this Football Manager. All of the pre-season have been done through the assistant manager, so this is going to be a bit of a baptism of fire, I think. I imagine I probably need to make sure that we're showing the right highlights and all sorts of stuff. This doesn't seem to have changed because we're in the Premier League. If we were in the Championship, I think we'd see something a little bit different. That formation is throwing me. I'm not sure I'm keen on that. So here we go then. We do have a highlight to kick off the game, but I think this is just literally the kickoff. And we are, I mean, it's definitely near their goal. Nothing's going to happen though. So 10 minutes into the game then, we technically haven't had a highlight until now. St Maximin's corner towards Lascelles, And Alexander Isak makes it 1-0 to Newcastle. It's not been the most exciting game of football. That's literally the first shot and it's gone in. This is going to be like real life Southampton, isn't it? Admittedly, I am playing a strange formation. Maybe I need to try something a little bit differently. I wanted to play this because it makes use of having a lot of very good central defenders. Bella Kotchap, Lianco, Chilata Sarr. We've also got Salisu, who's currently out injured, annoyingly. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's not working for this match in particular, or maybe it just doesn't work at all. St Maximin with the ball for Newcastle. It's Guimaraes, goes for a long-range effort, tucks it underneath the goalkeeper. It's 2-0. I think my highlights are a bit too quick as well. Couldn't quite see what was going on there. Straight after the goal, we have another highlight. And are we playing badly, or are Newcastle playing well? I'm not quite sure. Olienka down the line straight to Miguel Almiron, who's going to go for a run forward. Lumps it towards St Maximin, who's not going to get there instead. Bella Kotchap collects it and just gives it to St Maximin anyway, and then steals it back. He's just stat padding now. Is that what he's doing? He just wants to get his tackles up. Joel Linton with the ball. Ward-Prowse steals it, passes it to Matt Target. He doesn't play for you anymore, guys. Almiron's going to get there first. Isak's there. And a flag goes up. It should potentially be 3-0. It might still be 3-0. We're going to get VAR. Oh, that's a fancy new graphic. I mean, it's still VAR and it's still disallowed. Right, we're definitely playing badly. We are definitely playing badly. Looking at the match ratings, Perrault, Olienka, Armstrong, Adams, Lianco all playing very badly on 6-4s or 6-5s. Lianco's dropped to a 6-3 now. Bella Kotchap, however, is on a 7. Just before half-time, can we get back into this game? We've literally not had the ball in their half in any highlight, have we? We've not had the ball in their half in any highlight. Miguel Almiron's going to go for a run. Gets past many, many blue shirts into the penalty area. Crosses it in. It's over the bar. It's going to go off for a goal kick. And it's going to be 2-0 to Newcastle at half-time. They are good at football, though, aren't they? I'm going to thrash arms. You've been terrible. There we go. Most people seem to take that on board, apart from Stuart Armstrong. We're going to change up to this formation and rearrange everybody to see what we can get to work. All we really need to do is that. So, Lianco's coming off. Maitland-Niles is going to come on in that Carrilero position. Diallo drops to the DLP. Everything else is going to stay the same, which could be a risk. I mean, this might suddenly work and we might be the best team in the world. 5 minutes into the second half and we've got the ball and we're coming forward slowly. Olienka with it, loses out to Miguel Almiron. What? Is he the best footballer in the world or something? Did I not get the memo? Trippier across to Guimaraes, in towards Joel Linton, gets there first, tries to curl it past Bazunu, heats it just wide. Newcastle are very good, aren't they? Southampton are also very bad. Shea Adams is on a 6.2. Right, so Timo Pukki is coming on. We're going to see him making his debut. We're also going to do Frank Onyeka coming on for Diallo. And we'll do that. Sure, I guess that works. I've also just told them to shoot on sight because we've had 2 shots. So, you know, I want to just see some highlights going our way. Willock's going to get there first. No, he doesn't. Olienka heads forward. Timo Pukki, the old man of the side. Probably one of the oldest players I will ever sign in this Football Manager as well. Perrault collects it for us. Back to Ward-Prowse, playing it in the much deeper role now. Bella Kotchap. He's, so far, one of the few players who's doing alright on a 6.8. And it's still not that great, is it? Armstrong's not going to get there first. And Newcastle now can build something. Sven Botman has it. Matt Target on the left. We need to seal this. We do. Walker Peters to Bella Kotchap. It's hyphenated FC. Maitland-Niles is another one. Ball forward. Pookie can't run, can he? What are we trying to do that for? Maitland-Niles collects that, though. Down the right. Are we going to get ourselves a goal? No. What was that pass? Maybe. Timu's there. Timo Pukki scores. We've made it 2-1. Timo Pukki scored on his debut. It was somewhat shambolic by Newcastle, their defence there, but I don't care. I'll take it. Now to get 2 more, or maybe 1 more, and then we can get a draw. And that's what everybody wanted. The board wanted that. The fans wanted that. That'll do. It's a corner for Newcastle. 20 minutes to play. Guimaraes doesn't get there. Almiron collects it. Edge of the area. Curling effort goes over the bar. Still 2-1 to Newcastle. They've looked very good. They've looked very comfortable. We can do more subs, right? We're allowed to. So we're going to do Adam Armstrong for Olienka. And I assume if we want to do a 5th sub, we have to do it now. And we have no centre-backs. Perrault's coming off for Juan Larios. And that is going to probably be all of our subs. Good news for us. Ryan Fraser's just come on for Miguel Almiron. And Almiron, despite the fact he's on a 6.6, seemed to be doing most of the football for them. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play of injury time. We've got the ball. We need to get it forward. Onyeka to Adam Armstrong. Controls it well. Lumps it off towards Stuart Armstrong. Doesn't get there, though. Target finds St Maximin, and now Newcastle can possibly counter forward. Isak plays it on the ground. Finds Ryan Fraser. He's running towards goal. He's chipped it over. Why did Bella Kotchap not go for that? Ryan Fraser's just scored a goal. by chipping it over Bazunu. Bella Kotchap could have got that, and he didn't bother. So watch him. Watch him there, okay? Bella Kotchap just decides, nah, not bothering with that. Could have made that. Walker Peters could have made that. Larios probably could have made that. Why did we not stop that? Well, full time then in our first game in charge of Southampton, and we've lost 3-1 against Newcastle, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the performance. We did not play very well at all. Bazunu, Gavin, Buddy, that was horrendous. A 6-1. So then the first match has been played, and the first defeat is on the board. We are not expected to do particularly well this season. We're expected to finish 16th place in the table. So, hear me out. That's not a terrible result. Losing against Newcastle, a team who clearly invested a lot of money. Have they invested even more money? They bought anybody new since the start of the save? I don't think they have, actually. They've spent £118 million. We've spent 100 and something as well. Ignore that. And let's be honest, there wasn't particularly anything in that match that made me think, you know what, we'll be all right. We weren't very good. Our goal was lucky. Bazunu was horrific. He was absolutely horrific. Maybe we do need to look at bringing in a short-term goalkeeper for a season, on loan maybe, and then next year Bazunu can be our number one, because let's face it, if he plays like that every single game, we aren't going to be the manager for much longer. That is going to do it then for episode 1 of our beta save with Southampton. Thank you very much for watching. If you've made it all this way, thank you very much. Do please remember to leave a like on the video. It helps me out massively. If you want to see more of the Southampton save, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see more of what I'm going to be doing in FM23, hit the subscribe button. We're talking building a nation save. Not quite sure what nation we're going to do just yet, but that is going to be a thing that's going to take place. I've potentially got 9 other saves planned. It's a lot of saves. I'm not committing to all of them, but there is potentially a lot of different Let's Plays going to be taking place throughout the course of FM23 on this channel. So yeah, if you want to see them, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back next time with more Southampton, and maybe we might win a game. We might do Brentford, Bournemouth. We can win both of them. Thanks for watching. Now, I'd like to think that the last episode with the match against Newcastle was just a blip on the radar. We have turned things around, partially because we brought in a brand new goalkeeper. You can see him there. We'll take a look in just a second. But also, we beat Manchester United 3-0. We do still have a problem, though, where we aren't particularly scoring goals. We're keeping clean sheets. We've kept 4 clean sheets out of 6 games now, losing against Wolves and obviously losing against Newcastle. Manchester United, we win 3-0. Ward-Prowse with a free kick. Maitland-Niles also on the score sheet. And Adam Armstrong, and he said Adam Lallana. Adam Armstrong also getting a goal late on in that one. Jonas Ullman making his debut and playing very, very well, beating Fulham 1-0. Teemu Pukki from the penalty spot, losing against Wolves, and then 2 0-0 draws. We can't score goals, which is very accurate to how Saints play in real life. So this is our new number 1 goalkeeper, Jonas Omlin, signed from Montpellier. He has cost £10 million. I asked the board to sign us a goalkeeper because we only had about £400,000 in our transfer budget, and they went, okay, we'll do it. So Jonas Omlin is in. He is our number 1 goalkeeper. He is better than Gavin Bazunu by a fair distance. I didn't want to do this, but I feel like we have to do this, otherwise we are going to get sacked. And because of those results, it does mean the league table looks a bit like this. We have a game in hand, which will be in today's episode against bottom of the table Bournemouth, who have lost all 5 games so far. If we win that, we'll go on to 11 points, which could be good enough to put us into 5th place. I don't think we're going to be in 5th because Palace and Leicester also have a game in hand as well. So the starting lineup for the Bournemouth game then will be Omlin in goal, Walker Peters, Chaleta Sarr, Salisu and Maitland-Niles in defence. If we can have another centre... I mean, we've got to do it, haven't we? We've got all 4 defenders with double-barrelled names. That's pretty impressive. Ward-Prowse as well, another double-barrelled name, playing as the DLP with Diallo, Onyeka, Armstrong and Teemu Pukki leading the line. Pukki is there because Che Adams actually picked up an injury. We don't want to basically break him in too quickly. He's also been playing very badly lately. So we're at home for this one then, and I'm confident. I'm pretty confident in this. Bournemouth have lost all 5 of their opening games of the season. They also drew, by the looks of it, in the Carabao Cup. They are playing a similar formation to what we played against Newcastle, which didn't work. So I am somewhat confident in this. 35 seconds on the clock, and we've got the first highlight. Chris Mepham with the ball for Bournemouth. Finds Lloyd Kelly. Are we going to put some pressure on, or is this going to be Bournemouth doing a slow build? We're putting the pressure on. Armstrong's got the ball, through ball to Pukki, and Teemu Pukki makes it 1-0. Not even a minute on the clock. And I'm hoping this is how this game goes. We put like 6 or 7 past them. Since the opening goal, not a lot has happened until now. It is Bournemouth with the ball in the penalty area. Frank Onyeka can steal it though. Taking his time, Bella Kotchap down the line finds Maitland-Niles, who by the way is a very good player for us. I don't want to be playing him as a left back, but we don't really have too many other options at the moment. Jefferson Lerma collects. Diallo stolen it. That's good. Go for a run through ball. Timo Pukki's in again, and this time it's straight into the hands of the Brazilian keeper Neto. I would like to get a second goal before half-time. If that's possible, I would like another one. Just going 2-0 at the break would be quite nice. Kelly with the ball for Bournemouth towards Kiefer Moore. Controls it well. Bella Kotchap, I think that is chasing back. Omlin with the save. It goes off for a corner. So Bournemouth actually aren't looking as bad as they perhaps might be perceived as from their league position. Solanke heads over the bar. They're not doing great, but then again, we're also not a very good team either. Cheleta Sarr with a free kick. It's a terrible free kick. Not sure what he was trying there, but we've nicked it anyway. Stuart Armstrong with the ball. Tries to find some space. Back toward Prowse. Walker-Peters crosses it towards Adam Armstrong, who doesn't go for anything. And that wasn't a highlight, was it? It's carried on. We've got it again through Walker-Peters. Onyeka to Armstrong. Been kicked by Lerma. How is that not a free kick? And now Kiefer Moore's going to counter-attack for Bournemouth. Down the right-hand side. We've got Maitland-Niles chasing back. Kiefer Moore stops and holds up play. Invites Chris Mepham forward, of all people. Cross comes in, Solanke's there, and Solanke scored. What was that highlight? I'm sure we were kicked. I'm sure we were kicked in the middle of that. Diallo's got an injury from it. Well, half-time, it is 1-1 at St Mary's Stadium, and Bournemouth have suddenly come back into this game. I don't like what I've seen. Some players... Now, fullbacks don't work. Fullbacks don't work on this. 6-2 and a 6-3. Everyone else is doing reasonably okay. Diallo, we need to bring him off at half-time, so it's Lavia going to be coming on. Walker-Peters as well. What do we do there? Do we do that? Put Maitland-Niles as a right-back for a bit? First highlight of the second half, and it's Romain Perraud's throw to Armstrong. Bella Kotchap, just inside our half. Maitland-Niles, now the right-back Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Cheleta Sarr with it. Maitland-Niles, we need to go down the line. Why aren't we going down the line? Lavia collects. Maitland-Niles again. Cheleta Sarr, we're just passing it around, not going anywhere. We're making no progress. Maitland-Niles has gone for a little bit of a run as a very loud motorbike goes past my house. Lerma to Billing, big lump upfield towards Zamora. What are you doing, Omlin? That's what you're doing. Good idea. That's what we like to see from our goalkeepers. Christie's collected. Christie's lost it. Zamora's got it. What is going on? Ball control seems to be a bit of an issue, doesn't it? Nobody seems to be able to keep hold of the ball at all. Zamora's into the penalty area. Is no options. Goes for goal. Straight into the hands of Omlin. And I would argue that wasn't a highlight. Maybe this one will be. Billing to Christie. Goes for a spin. Plays it all the way back, though, to Neto, who is well outside of his area. If we can steal this, go for a little chip. Neto's collected it again. We need to intercept, and we do. But we've headed it straight to a Bournemouth shirt. Maitland-Niles kicks it straight to Ryan Fredericks. Our pass accuracy must be awful. This is something not quite right here. Solanke's made it 2-1 to Bournemouth. All of that came from a misplaced pass. Again, pass completed is 82%. And I feel like we've not seen a single one of those 82%, have we? Maitland-Niles and Bella Kotchap are playing badly. Salisu is coming on. We're going to do Lianco coming on as a right-back. Sure, this shows how badly we've been playing defensively when you take off three defenders. We're also going to do... Pion Sisto can come on, I think. He's been out injured. That's why we've not seen Sisto yet so far. So he's going to come on. That's all of our subs as well. We need to do something. Anything, please. Ward-Prowse with a free kick. Is this an equaliser? Armstrong is there. It rustles the back of the net, but unfortunately it's gone wide. That's been our best chance of the second half, and it was not very good at all. Final couple of minutes of the game, 4 minutes of injury time. We're going to lose to a team who have not won a game all season. How have we done that? Really? This is a mess. Their goals came from just poor passes, didn't they? All of their goals came from poor passes. I'm not happy with that. Thrash arms, that's embarrassing. That is shameful. So that leaves us after 6 games bang smack in the middle of the table on 8 points. Bournemouth move up to 18th place in the table because, because we decide to let in goals against Bournemouth. Next up then, we're playing against 5th place Wolves, a team who have already beaten us this season in the Carabao Cup. So I'm not particularly confident for this one either. Right then, for the Wolves game, we've done some tactical tweaks. I'm not going to go through them because I don't think they're going to work too much. But basically, what I've said, I'll say it again, Walker-Peters is now get further up the pitch, mate, because that's your good ability. You're really good going forward. Defensively, you're pretty decent, but you're not as good as I think you are when you go forward. Armstrong, stop going so far up the pitch, basically. Also, Jonas Omlin, stop being an attacking sweeper keeper, because we don't want that. That's a bad idea. So it's going to be Omlin in goal, Walker-Peters, Chileta-Sarr, Salisu and Maitland-Niles, Lavia, Onyeka, Ward-Prowse, Armstrong and Armstrong, Shea Adams leading the line for this one. I would love to know how to score goals. This is the problem that we are having. The 3 goals that we scored against United, one was a direct free kick from Ward-Prowse, one was a penalty. So we have scored a total of 4 goals, I think, outside of, or maybe even less, 3 goals, potentially, that have been in open play. Everything else has been from a set piece. So far, 20 minutes into the game, and we're looking alright, aren't we? We're looking okay. 4 shots so far to Wolves' 1. Only 1 on target. Bournemouth are losing to Liverpool, which is no surprise to anybody. This realistically is a draw, isn't it, this game? This, on paper, you want to be looking for a draw, maybe a win if we can nick it. We are at home. Ward-Prowse with a free kick just before half-time, curling effort. It's a good save, and Salisu was there, and Salisu gets very lucky, because I think Guedes actually tried to clear it, couldn't manage it, and we have taken the lead against Wolves. Again, kind of from a set piece, sort of. Right, we are looking actually pretty good. We're actually looking pretty good. 13% possession, 13 shots, 4 of them only on target, 88 passes complete, 51 possession as well. So we're looking good, I think. I do need to say to you, Armstrong, do something. Nothing's working. I feel like team talks don't seem to do a huge amount at the moment, because only 3 people seem to react from any of that. 10 or so minutes into the second half. Shea Adams is looking poor, by the way. He's on a 6.4 at the moment. Maitland-Niles collects it on the ground to Adams. He's been clattered, and it's going to go to VAR, and it is most likely going to be a penalty, and I think Maitland-Niles might be the one to take it. It is a penalty then, and it is going to be Ainsley Maitland-Niles stepping up for potentially his 2nd goal of the season, and his 2nd penalty of the season as well. It's into the bottom corner. We have doubled our lead against Wolves, and this may well be our first win on camera of FM23. Minutes later, barely minutes, arguably seconds later, another highlight. Armstrong has the ball for us. Walker-Peters needs to be doing that overlap. I've told him to do an overlap and he's not bothering. Armstrong is still going forward with the... Yep, that's your day done, mate. I mean, you're on a 6-6. You're not doing all right at all. Double change then. Armstrong and Adams off. Aribo and Pookie coming on. Why did he shoot that? Why did he actually shoot that? That's not what he should have passed that a million times. Maitland-Niles' throw finds Salisu, the 2 goal scorers combining, all the way back to Omlin. Forward, finds Lavia with a yellow card. I think this is Lavia's first start for us, isn't it? Chileta-Sarr lumps it down towards Walker-Peters on the right-hand side. That's what I want him to be doing. Tries to play it in. It's fallen for Timo Pukki, and Pukki gets his 4th of the season. It is 3-0 against Wolves. Have we suddenly sorted something out tactically here? Probably not, but it is definitely working against Wolves. That goal was entirely set up by Chileta-Sarr's pass as well. I know Walker-Peters got the assist, but Chileta-Sarr, to just see him there, was a great, great ball. Lavia is going to come off. What do we do here? We don't have any midfielders. Lianco can play there, probably. I mean, why are we doing that with Lianco? He's actually not a bad footballer, is he? We're going to put Lianco there just because bit of Brazilian flair from a centre-back playing out of position. 74th minute, Walker-Peters to Lianco. Walker-Peters, ball forward, finds Armstrong. It's another penalty. It's going to be another penalty, isn't it? I did see somebody on Twitter say that, are we seeing a lot more penalties so far? And I think we probably are, because this is our 3rd penalty in 6 games and our 2nd penalty in this match. So it is Ainsley Maitland-Niles stepping up, blasts it into the back of the net. He's now scored 2 goals, 3 all season, all of them from the penalty spot as well. It's 4-0. Just over 10 minutes to play. Wolves having the ball. Totti with it. The centre-back, the young centre-back, I think. Ruben Neves loses out to Joe Aribo. Plays it on the ground to Armstrong. Armstrong has to make it 5. Kicks it straight into Jose Sarr's face. Corner for James Ward-Prowse to take. Right-footed towards the front post where we want it to go. It's towards Salisu. And Mohamed Salisu has doubled his tally for the season and the match as well. 80 minutes played. 5-0 up against Wolves. I was expecting this result against Bournemouth. Not going to lie. This is what I thought would happen against Bournemouth, not Wolves. The full-time whistle goes, and we were good, weren't we? We were actually pretty good there. Salisu picking up the Man of the Match award. Maitland-Niles with 2 penalties, so arguably some match engine bugs and things like that could have come into play for this one, because I don't think 2 penalties in a match, and I think it might be 4 penalties all season, does sound a bit steep, doesn't it? So, with that victory against Wolves, we leapfrog over them into the European spots, up into 7th place. Jonas Omlin has kept 5 clean sheets this season, and we've still lost twice. So if we concede, that's it, isn't it? So that is what the league table looks like then at the end of episode 2. 7 games played. We have leapt up into 7th place over Wolverhampton Wanderers. We have lost just 2 matches. Omlin has kept 5 clean sheets. Basically, every game he has played, he has kept a clean sheet bar 1, I think. And that was the Bournemouth game. So Omlin's a very good signing so far. Omlin has been a very good signing. That's going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we are going to go a little bit further into the future. We're going to go to just before the World Cup. So we're going to have Aston Villa and Manchester City towards the end of November, the start of November. And then we're obviously going to have the Qatar World Cup as well, which is just going to get in the way. And then we come back on Boxing Day, apparently, to play Leicester. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back next time with more Football Manager 2023 with Southampton. And hopefully, more 5-0 wins. Thanks for watching. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best Football Manager 23 player in the world, but this league table kind of shows that I'm doing alright. Annoyingly as well, we haven't been playing as well as I would like us to be playing. We are up into 5th place, 14 games played. In between episodes, where did we finish off? So we lost against Everton. We then beat West Ham just. We conceded 2 late goals from Gianluca Scamacca, but we still managed to hold on. A 1-1 draw with Chelsea. Sterling got sent off early, and we conceded in the 89th minute to a Kovacic free kick. A 1-0 victory against Arsenal. This was good, but we should have won by more. We were so much better. A 0-0 draw against Forest. We had an XG of 3. We could not score at all in that one. We beat Brighton only 1-0. And then Liverpool were good at football. Peter Olienka getting sent off as well certainly did not help our cause. So we've done all right in between episodes. And we should have done better. We can't score goals. And I don't know how to make us score goals. There's a few matches. Obviously Wolves in the last episode. West Ham and Man United. Where we suddenly get into a groove. And we just score lots of goals. Otherwise, we get 1 goal, and that's about it. So the first match of today's episode, away from home at Villa Park against Aston Villa. It will be Jonas Omlin in goal, Walker Peters, Chileta Sarr, Salisu and Perot in defence, Diallo, Onyeka, Ward-Prowse in midfield, Armstrong and Edozie as our wingers, with Shea Adams leading the line as a target forward now. I don't know whether this is a good idea, but I've gone for a target forward on attack rather than the pressing forward. Do we just do that? Do we just go for a complete forward on attack instead? Maybe that's what we go for. Adam Armstrong is the worst footballer and the best footballer. He should have scored 4 goals so far this season. He's got 1. His form is horrendous, but he always has all the shots. He has all the chances, if you can see there. He has so many chances and never scores them, and I don't know why. Also, as this is the beta, I feel like I need to mention that I think there are definitely some problems going on at the moment. Not massive problems, not major problems, but we are keeping clean sheets for fun. Omlin has kept, I think, 8 clean sheets so far this season out of about 11 games, which is insane. That is part of the reason why we're up there. Also, we cannot score goals, but we are getting so many chances, and they are easy goals. They're easy to score the goals, and we are missing them pretty much 9 times out of 10. So there's definitely some things not quite right at the moment. 9 minutes on the clock, and it is Villa coming forward with the ball. Emi Buendia can make some space for himself in the middle. Jonas Omlin easily holds on. Matty Cash with a throw on the right. Danny Ings, we are closing him down, putting some pressure on. Shea Adams is there to steal it, but can't keep hold of it. And now Kamara collects. Esri Konsa plays it all the way back to Emi Martinez in the Villa goal. Kamara's got it. We're putting some pressure on. This is good to see. Marvellous Nakamba. Now, Dean, I still don't know how to say his name. I have no idea. Walker Peters picks it up, loses it, gets it back again from Philippe Coutinho. Armstrong lumps it towards Adams, who's not going to get anywhere near it. This is a strange highlight. This is, okay, fair enough. Good effort, Shea. It wasn't actually too far away, was it? Free kick for Ward-Prowse in the 25th minute. Stuart Armstrong's there at the back post, and Armstrong scores, but we are having... He was offside? No way was he offside. I mean, that was effectively a corner. Good. I don't see how anybody could be offside from that position. No one was even close to being offside. It's 1-0. Straight after the goal, there is more action. Kamara's going to go for a run through the middle. Konsa, right-hand side is Buendia. Now Danny Ings, we should try and steal the ball off him. Maybe go through the middle of him. Ideally, Ollie Watkins' effort goes over the bar. If we can injure Danny Ings, I mean, he's not real in this universe. It's harsh if it's real life, but if we can injure him, that'll be very helpful for us. Nope, we've injured Philippe Coutinho instead. Ward-Prowse with a corner for us towards Stuart Armstrong at the front post, and his headed effort goes over the bar. Armstrong has also picked up an injury, which I think might have been the cause of the Coutinho injury. Perrault to Ward-Prowse. Can he get the cross in? Instead, plays it on the ground to Onyeka, and Onyeka's effort goes just wide off the post. We're getting some very good chances, just not putting the ball away just yet, apart from the Armstrong chance, obviously. Half-time then, we do have the lead at Villa Park, and they are looking like the better side. You're doing well. That seems to be a good thing to say. We are going to have to take off. Do we take him off? We're going to have to keep an eye on that. His poor fitness. We've got Sisto. We've got Aribo on the bench. I think we just stick with that. I'm tempted to push you into maybe like a more central position and take you off, just because you don't do anything down there. Like, you always seem to just do nothing at all. What's a trequartista? What do you do? I think we're going to go for a trequartista for Joe Aribo. I am, as you can probably tell, playing around with tactics and roles and formations and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, things will be changing as the season goes on. Perrault's going to keep that in play. He does so. 3 in the box. Perrault's now got a lot of space in front of him. Ward-Prowse plays on the ground, not the best pass. Onyeka finds Diallo, and his pass is horrendous. Onyeka can save it, though. Chaleta Sarr even. Walker-Peters and Onyeka passing. Ball forward. Adams is in on goal, takes a touch, hits it wide. That's what I was talking about. That should have been any striker worth their money would have put that at least on target. But we seem to miss those all the time. Still not quite at the hour mark. I'm thinking Armstrong needs to come off sooner rather than later. We'll give him until the hour. I'm thinking Adams as well, maybe for Pookie, might need to be a substitution that takes place just because Adams has missed a couple of sitters. He's on a 6.5. Ings has got the ball in towards goal. Crosses it, actually. It's a strange cross. Watkins heads down for Bailey, and Leon Bailey makes it 1-1. That was very questionable defending, wasn't it? Very questionable defending. We've now just conceded probably one of our first goals in a while. I say first goals. We actually let in 3 against Liverpool. What am I on about? Right, we're trying something. Sisto and Adam Armstrong coming on. Stuart Armstrong and Shea Adams coming off. Do we do Diallo as well for Lavia? Yes, we do. Right, we need to try and get something. A win is... It's not a must. The board and the fans want to draw. We want to win. We always want to win, obviously. Ward-Prowse has the ball in the centre circle. Lumped forward. Sisto's going to hopefully keep it in. Does so. Back to Onyeka in the penalty area. Across Ward-Prowse. Loads of space. Goes for goal. Hits it wide. How are we getting those shots off target? That's what I don't understand. It seems to be so often that we do stuff like that. We get it in a good position. And then we don't even get it on target. Into the final 10 minutes. Another possible chance going our way. Armstrong is very deep. Why is Adam Armstrong there? That's not where you want your central striker, your solitary, singular, one-man strike force. You don't want him playing behind your central midfielders. That's odd. Perrault's stolen the ball there, but doesn't chase it down. Consa to De Frutos. Never heard of him. Is he real? Does he actually play for Villa? I have no idea. Ings slides through and gets hold of the ball. Callum Chambers, another former Southampton man, crosses and hits the first man. Ward-Prowse flicks the head on. That's good. Aribo collects it. Is he just going to go for a run? Tries to get Perrault involved and does so. Perrault back to Aribo. Back to Romain Perrault. He's crossed it. Sisto's there on the volley. He's hit the bar. He's hit the bar. He's absolutely rattled the bar. Full-time whistle is seconds away then. A 1-1 draw. It's okay. But from a neutral's perspective, that game should have had at least 2 more goals. And I think we should have maybe got 3. We can't score goals. It's a big worry. And a slightly smaller worry is Armstrong is going to miss the final game before the Qatar World Cup. What else has gone on? Chaleta Sarr is going to miss the final match as well against Man City in 8 days. Speaking of, Erling Haaland he's the player of the week. I don't know if this is like an official player of the week thing, but this is quite good. It tells you just a random footballer who did really well. Erling Haaland, by the way, is 20 goals in 14 appearances. I'm expecting to lose against Man City. This is what we're going to go for then for the City game. Omlin in goal. Walker-Peters, Lianco, Salisu and Maitland-Niles in defence. Diallo, Onyeka, Ward-Prowse in midfield. Sisto and Aribo as our wingers. Shea Adams as a striker for this one. I've done another little bit of tweaking. Basically, Shea Adams is going to be playing as an advanced forward this time around. I don't know whether it's going to work either. Actually, you know what? Let's just put him back to a pressing forward. What he was on initially. But the big thing here... Aribo was playing in that position because Joe Aribo, 14 finishing, 15 composure. He should have a better idea of what to do when you look at Adam Armstrong, 13 finishing, 10 composure, 10 decisions. Armstrong is not the most intelligent, apparently, when it comes to having the ball near the goal, which I'd argue isn't quite right when you think of how many goals he scored playing for Blackburn. But anyway, that's irrelevant. He's playing for us now. So, Man City are obviously very good, aren't they? Erling Haaland, as we've just seen, is one of the best, if not the best footballer in the game. So that's going to be a problem. Their weakest link is weirdly somebody like a John Stones, and he's definitely better than all of our defenders. 22 minutes on the clock, and the first highlight is here. So we've held out long enough. The board are expecting a defeat. The fans are expecting a defeat. I'm expecting a defeat. So if we can get anything out of this, I will be quite happy with it. Kyle Walker has it on the right-hand side, crosses it in. Grealish is there. Grealish makes it 1-0. 22 minutes and about 12 seconds on the clock. It's 1-0 City. I think this is going to go a similar way to the Liverpool game that we had, where we weren't great. They weren't amazing. They still managed to score 3 goals. And we just had no chance whatsoever. Haaland flicks the head on. Lianco collects it, though. The Brazilian goes for a long-range effort and saved by his fellow Brazilian Ederson. Holds on to it, ends the highlight. Sisto's going off injured. Wonderful. Straight swap then. Peter Olayinka is going to be the man to come on. I'm interested to see how Joe Aribo does on that left wing. To me, that's the thing that I want to keep an eye on. Is he getting into the positions that Adam Armstrong was getting into? Because Armstrong, I think, is faster, but Aribo is better finishing. Haaland's in on goal. Haaland's hit the post. Saved so far from Erling Haaland. We've got a free kick as well. Ward-Prowse takes it. Olayinka's at the back post. It's a header clear. Haaland's going to collect this, and he's probably just going to run the length of the pitch, isn't he? Haaland holds up play. Gundogan back towards Haaland, but Maitland-Niles can steal it. Diallo to Lianco. We're not looking too bad at the moment. It is Man City. We have to remember that. They are ridiculously good in Football Manager and in real life. Adams has managed to somehow get past Ruben Diaz. Dink him! Dink him! He's hit the post! What are you doing? It should be 1-1. It really should be 1-1. Adams should be celebrating his 5th goal of the season. Instead, it is going to be maybe 1-1 at half-time. It's a ball in. It is 1-1. Mohamed Salisu gets his 3rd goal of the season. Both centre-backs were there challenging for it. Salisu is the man. With 20 seconds left to play of injury time in the first half, we've equalised against Man City. That headed effort, XG-wise, was minuscule. Absolutely minuscule. How did he manage to score that? You're doing well. Keep it up, everybody. It's only Shea Adams and, I guess, Lianco, apparently, who aren't doing very well. Already an hour on the clock. Second half has been fairly uneventful. We're going to do a change. Pookie's going to come on for Shea Adams, because Shea Adams is doing nothing at all. Aribo isn't really doing anything either, so Adam Armstrong can come on. Maybe see whether you can do anything. Do we do Lianco for Bella Kotchap? Yes, we do. That could have been a risk to do that. But so far, and I'm going to say this out loud, we are keeping Erling Haaland quiet. And he's been brought off. We have stopped Erling Haaland from scoring a goal. To me, that's an achievement worthy. Final 10 minutes, City have a corner. It's Gomez to take it. It's going to be a left-footed corner. We need to make sure that we deal with this sensibly. It's towards the back post. John Stones is there. Makes it 2-1. I knew something like that was coming. I just knew something like that was going to come. And there it was. Literally, as I said, we need to deal with this. And we didn't bother dealing with it. We've arguably been the better side when it comes to attacking chances as well. Armstrong to Diallo. We've got 4 minutes. It's Adam Armstrong. It's Olayinka. And Olayinka makes it 2-2. Hold the phone. Are we going to get a point against Man City? So 2 substitutions there, combining to get a potential equaliser. Don't do this now. Gomez's free kick comes in. Flapping from Omlin, but it's gone wide anyway. We've got 3 minutes of injury time to play. Just hold on. That is a massive point. That is an absolutely massive point there. Salisu, Olayinka with the goals. And somehow, we've nicked a point off of Manchester City. Now there's going to be a very big break between now and the next matches. Not the next episode, but the next matches, because we move into the 2022 World Cup, which I am going to try and simulate throughout this episode. I say simulate throughout the episode. We'll come back in a second, basically, at the end of the World Cup, and we can see who's won the thing. It's the 18th of December. The World Cup has been concluded, And Lionel Messi has his World Cup winners medal. I assume he's got one. Yes, he does. He got 4 assists, so he definitely played in it. It was Argentina-Brazil in the final. That's a pretty spicy final there, isn't it? If we roll back just a little bit, if we take a look at the semi-finals, Holland losing to Brazil, Argentina beating Germany. The quarterfinals, Poland getting knocked out on penalties against Holland. Morocco, Senegal and Portugal also falling at this stage. This is where England fell over, losing to Holland on penalties. Tunisia, USA, France, Spain, Ghana, Croatia and Cameroon also making it through. Just in case you're interested, this is how the groups looked. Qatar did manage to get a point. They drew 0-0 with Ecuador. There you go. USA winning their group ahead of England. Poland winning the group ahead of World Cup winners. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts that Poland won the group and Argentina still won the entire competition. France and Tunisia going through. Spain, Germany, which is what you'd expect, isn't it? Croatia, Morocco. So Belgium not making it through Group F. Brazil and Cameroon going through ahead of Switzerland and Serbia. And then Portugal, Ghana down the bottom there. Overall, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Argentina won it. I am somewhat surprised that when you look through some of the teams that got through, teams like Cameroon and Ghana, probably somewhat surprising to get through, I think. But overall, there you go. That's the World Cup. Also, before we finish this episode, we have got our youth intake review, or what is expected. Our youth intake, I don't even know what it's called. Is it a review? But basically, this page doesn't work properly because it's up there, but it is a 5-star intake. We're expecting to have some very good players coming in. Fullbacks, which is helpful, central midfielders, attacking midfielders and strikers. So we're getting some good players hopefully coming through the youth intake. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode where we will return probably the other side of the January transfer window. So it might be Chelsea West Ham, what we might do next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll be back with more Football Manager next time. Thanks for watching. We are back the other side of the January transfer window. It is the 4th of February. We're going to have 2 matches in today's episode. Chelsea and Crystal Palace. In between episodes, we've done quite well. We've not done amazingly well. We did, where did we start? So we drew with Leicester. We lost against Leeds. We beat Palace. We lost against Swansea. Don't ask me how this happened. I have no idea. Giovanni Dos Santos was just the best footballer on earth. We then beat Everton 3-0. A 3-1 defeat against Arsenal and a 2-0 win against Wolves means we're sat 6th place in the table. Obviously, we've also had a January transfer window. Transfers have taken place. We brought in one player, and this is to appease the board. They want us to sign 18 to 19-year-olds to basically be players for the future. Namdi Collins is one of those players. He should be good enough to maybe get fringe games every now and then, maybe a cup game here or there. So yeah, he has come in. He's cost about 3 million in total, but most of this is spread over like 4 seasons. And one of the reasons why I specifically went for Namdi Collins is because Lianco has gone out on loan to BRA in Brazil. Basically, they paid us nearly £2 million to loan out Lianco, and that's quite a lot of money, really. We've got no money to spend, so I thought, you know what, if we loan him out, get some cash in, that'll be helpful when we want to try and sign some new players. He's going to come back at the end of the season, and he'll still be a Saints player. And Gavin Bazunu has also gone out on loan in a similar deal, but this one was more because he's rubbish. He's not very good for us. Every time he plays for us, he concedes goals. He's gone out on loan to Pumas in Mexico. They are paying some of his wages, and we are getting £2.6 million. Basically, that's pretty good for a player who wasn't playing for us. There's also been a couple of loan deals going out as well. Some permanent transfers for some youngsters. Basically, the usual January transfer window nonsense that most people don't really care about. The starting lineup then for the Chelsea game will be Omlin in goal, Walker-Peters, Chileta Sarr, Salisu and Maitland-Niles in defence, Lavia, Onyeka and Ward-Prowse in midfield, Sisto, Adam Armstrong and Timu Pukki will be our front 3 for this one. We've got a few bits of injuries going on. Shea Adams missing, Diallo missing, Roman Perot all missing this one through injuries. So that is why we're seeing a little bit of change going on. Now, both the board and the fans expect us to lose this game, which is no surprise. I expect us to lose as well, but we have surprised us in the past with winning games where we were expected to lose. Mount with an early corner for Chelsea towards Fofana at the front post, goes over Omlin's bar. 0-0, first chance goes Chelsea's way. 25 minutes on the clock, and we've seen very little. Sisto, who has been complaining to me about not starting games, this is the reason why I don't start you. Whenever you play, You play very badly. You're on a 6.3. Teemu Pukki's on a 6.4. Nothing's happening in this game. We've had one highlight in the entire match, and it went over the bar. So, half-time it is 0-0. I'm going to say, sure, we'll just say that one. I mean, I keep saying that one. It doesn't seem to do anything. Let's do the age-old, you weren't that bad. You can improve. I've got faith in all that. Bobbins, do we take off Sisto? I think we do. And we go Joe Aribo on that. Actually, or do we do that? Do we do that? I mean, Armstrong can't play on the right-hand side, but we're going to try it, see how he gets on. You may have noticed as well that I did loan out Sekumara in the summer, and I've recalled him from his loan spell at Blackburn because I want a third option up front. We've only got two options, and that's Pukki and Adams, and obviously when someone's injured, Kai Havertz has just scored. Obviously when somebody's injured, it leaves us with one striker, and that's not ideal, which is the situation we kind of find ourselves in at the moment. Is this going to count? I think it will. It has counted. It is 1-0 to Chelsea, and that's probably game over. Neither team is playing well here, are they? Neither team is playing particularly well. It is 7th versus 8th now. Chelsea are actually below us in the table. Header clear from Salisu. Adam Armstrong's going to go for a run with his arms perfectly by his side. Chilwell controls it, cuts inside. Edge of the D hits it over Omlin's bar. Still 1-0 to Chelsea, but Chelsea are looking much better than us. Pukki's on a 6.2 now as well. Right, 3 more substitutions taking place. Livramento, Olayinka and Mara coming off Walker-Peters, Pukki and Romeo Lavia. It means we've got to rearrange in midfield, basically. Ward-Prowse, Onyeka and Aribo have kind of sorted themselves out, and Adam Armstrong's been pushed back onto the left-hand side because, basically, I feel like he is better there. He's still not very good there, but he is better there. Final 10 minutes of the match, and Chelsea coming forward. Once again, Mason Mount is the man with it. Finds Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side. Last time we played Chelsea, we actually drew 1-1, and we should have won the game. So we do have their number a little bit. Havertz has our number. It is 2-0. The flag has not gone up, but the referee wants to take a look at something. Whatever he wanted to check, it doesn't matter, because the goal has been awarded. It is 2-0 to Kai Havertz, because he's the only person doing anything at all in this match. We have been horrendous, haven't we? We've been pretty poor. Our passing is 81%. That is awful, right? That is awful. That is 2 out of 10. That is 1 in 5 passes we misplace. That is terrible. So defeat doesn't really mean a huge amount to us. We are in 7th place in the table. We now have to play, I think it's Crystal Palace are our next opponents. Is it Palace? It's not Palace. It is Palace. A team that we have just recently beaten 1-0, but we still can't score goals. This is a very big problem that I don't know whether it's me, Southampton's team, or Football Manager in general. I can't score goals consistently. Since the turn of the year, we have been in a win-lose pattern, which means next match against Crystal Palace should be a win, shouldn't it? It's going to be Omlin in goal, Walker-Peters, Chaleta Sarr, Salisu and Maitland-Niles in defence. Ward-Prowse, Lavia and Onyeka in midfield. I've rearranged those a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. I kind of want the DLP to be Ward-Prowse because he's naturally a playmaker, right? That should be where he plays well. Onyeka is much better as a box-to-box than a Carolero, and Lavia is a youngster and should be able to fit in anywhere. Armstrong on the wings. Adams will be leading the line for this one. Adam Armstrong is getting better. Stuart Armstrong is getting worse at football. I can't get certain positions to play well at all. So we played Palace quite recently and we won 1-0. And it was Shea Adams with the goal. We should have scored more. We were the much better side. We were lucky to get that Shea Adams goal as well. It could have ended a 0-0 draw. And I would have been very annoyed because we did enough to win the game comfortably. Walker-Peters' long ball forward towards Richards. Armstrong collects it though for us on the left-hand side. Is he going to get the cross in? No, he does not. It's Ward-Prowse. Onyeka. He's gone for a long-range effort. And oh my word, Frank Onyeka, with his first goal for the club, makes it 1-0, 11 minutes played. We've hit the half-hour mark, and it's still 1-0. Palace have just had their first couple of chances, and neither of them have been very good by the looks of it. We've had 4 shots out of 5 on target, but that's kind of it. This might be another quick episode. Salisu's gone off injured. I thought it was half-time. So, okay, well, Bella Kotchap is the make? The like-for-like replacement. I think he said makeshift replacement. That's not right at all. We're still playing badly. Walker-Peters and Chaleta Sarr, or whatever his name is. We are 2 minutes over the 1 minute of injury time to play. Maitland-Niles to Armstrong. Where are you going to go? Goes for a little run inside. Ward-Prowse has the ball. Back to Maitland-Niles. Bella Kotchap would like that. Nope, okay, Ward-Prowse again. He's lumped it forward. Adam Armstrong's going to hopefully get there first. He does. Is he going to get a shot away? He does manage it, but it is blocked by Richards. We win a corner, and I imagine because of the Salisu injury, we've got a fair amount of injury time to play as well. Ward-Prowse is the man to take it. Front post is Adam Armstrong. Why is Adam Armstrong on the front post? I've said I want a centre-back there. I want a Bella Kotchap or somebody there who's a big lad who can header the ball, and they've stuck Adam Armstrong on there. Fair enough. Onyeka has the ball for us on the left. Adam Armstrong crosses it in. It's a poor cross from Armstrong, and that brings us to half-time. It is 1-0 to Southampton. We've been okay, haven't we? Defensively, you're not very good at all. I am furious with your defensive work. Shay Adams, you individually, I'm not happy with your finishing either. Straight into the second half, I want to look at maybe trying to do some changes to bring in somebody like a Livramento because he needs to get game time. We need to get there first as well. We do. Maitland-Niles controls it. Bella Kotchap, number 37, through ball to Armstrong. Plays it across to Walker-Peters in the middle to Shay Adams. And Shay Adams tucks that ball away. Most of our goals seem to come from chances like that. Ball across in front of the goalkeeper. Keeper misses it. There's a striker there to pick up the pieces. 3 minutes into the second half. I didn't realise how quick into the second half that goal actually came. To Corey, to Eze, ball forward to Odson Edouard. Now Ayew, backwards to Anderson. To Corey again, is going to go for a run that should have been intercepted by Armstrong. Instead, Richards has collected it. Edouard gets some space for himself, and Omlin just about gets a hand to that. Eze to take the corner as well. If Palace find themselves a goal now, this is a bit nerve-wracking. It's Edouard heading over the bar. I've just seen Chaleta Sarr's rating is a 6.3. I mean, let's give him encourage. Let's try and fire him up a little bit more. Did not work. Right, I think we are going to have to bring off Chaleta Sarr, but I don't know who to bring on. I think we've used all of our centre-back substitutions because we only had one. Maitland-Niles collects it for us. Edge of the area, tries to get some space for himself. He's been flattened. It is going to be a penalty, and it is probably going to be Maitland-Niles stepping up to take it as well. The reason why he takes them, by the way, he's actually really good at penalties. Timo Pukki has got like 18 penalties taken. Maitland-Niles, I think, has 17. And then Ward-Prowse has 13. So that's why Maitland-Niles is actually the one to take our penalties. Right-footed then. Is it going to be 3? It should be 3. Gayata stops it. Maitland-Niles keeps it alive. Ward-Prowse to Onyeka. Are we going to get another chance from this? Ward-Prowse again goes off for a run. Plays it backwards to Bella Kotchap. And I think nothing's coming from it. What about this free kick from Ward-Prowse? Curl it into the top corner. Is that what we're going to see? Right-footed. Ward-Prowse. It's in the back of the net. Goal number 4 for James Ward-Prowse. 3-0 against Palace. We win, then we lose. We win, then we lose. Told ya. 2 more substitutions then. Chaleta Sarr, whatever his name is, I can never pronounce it, is coming off. Tino Livramento is going to come on as a centre-back because he can reasonably play there. We're also taking off Armstrong for Timo Pukki. And that is going to be it for the moment. We've still got 20 minutes. Are we going to get a fourth? We've not got 20 minutes now, we've got 5 minutes, and I feel like we're not going to get a fourth. We're going to do a couple more changes. Larios is going to come on. We've got one more to do. We'll do Adams as well for Mara. Well, once that third goal went in, the game just stopped. Literally, the third goal went in. We had one more shot, and Palace had 2 more shots. So, yeah, not really a lot went on in the latter part of that match, but a good win. 3-0 at home. Onyeka, Adams, and James Ward-Prowse. It should have been 4. Maitland-Niles should have scored a penalty as well, but unfortunately didn't. Don't know what happened with Chaleta Sarr. I'm concerned about this Salisu injury, though. Oh, that's not good. Dislocated shoulder. 7 to 8 weeks once we send him to a specialist. It's a recurring injury as well. That's not good. So we are down to bare bones when it comes to centre-backs. Let's use our squad planner, shall we? So this is the current situation. It's Chaleta Sarr, Bella Kotchap, Collins. That's it. That is all of our centre-backs. We need to look through our youth team, I think, and see who we can possibly call up. We've got, I mean, Bella Kotchap and Collins shouldn't be in there. Armitage or Nico Lawrence. Armitage isn't terrible. Nico Lawrence is not as good. So I think it might be Will Armitage who's going to be moving up to the first team. Even though it might just be temporary. We'll have a look as well in the under-18s. Nathaniel Boot. Nathaniel Boot is actually... I mean, that's an interesting one to me because I've just given him a new contract because he's good. He's definitely good. Magoma is currently out injured, so he's not much use to anybody anyway. So, right, we've got a few more players then. We've got a few more centre-backs. None of them are particularly exciting. So we've got Collins, we've got Payne, we've got Boot, have all turned up in there now as well. I think we might be okay. We probably won't be. We might struggle. That is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, we are probably going to go not very far in the future. Maybe Leeds Leicester, purely because we are expecting a youth intake. And it's going to be our first ever youth intake. It's going to be in March. So if we go through to March, which literally is those 2 matches, because I guess there's international breaks. So yeah, we'll do Leeds, Leicester, and we'll take a look at our youth intake as well. But thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back next time with more Football Manager 2023. We have just 11 games left to play of the season, and we are 2 points off of a Champions League spot somehow. I'm not quite sure how we've done this, because we've lost 8 games. We actually haven't done particularly well. We've done all right. Obviously, 12 wins is a decent amount of wins. 43 points on the board so far. We're going to be playing Leeds and Leicester City in today's episode. In between episodes, we've only played 3 matches, winning 2 of them, and then losing 5-1 against Manchester United, beating West Ham, Adams with 2. We were the worst team. Omlin getting an 8.7, saving literally everything that went anywhere near him. Beating Newcastle as well 2-1. Adams and Timu Puki in this. We should have won by more, arguably. And against Manchester United, we were rubbish, and we played Nathaniel Boot. He got a 6.0. That was his debut. We have no centre-backs, or we had no centre-backs for the Man United game, which wasn't ideal. The starting lineup for the Leeds game at Ellen Road then will be Omlin in goal, Livramento, Bella Kotchap, Kaleta Carr and Walker Peters in defence. Ward-Prowse, Lavia and Onyeka in midfield. Aribo, Armstrong and Shea Adams as our strikers. We do have Tino Livramento back from his long-term injury. He's played about 2 or 3 games. I mean, I think he actually played in the last episode, didn't he? Came off the subs bench, played as a centre-back. So, you know he's back. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's play Leeds. I don't quite know why we're wearing our blue kit. I feel like we should be wearing our dark green kit. It's a lot less of a kit clash. But anyway, it does not matter. It's a computer game. It's not real. They might fix it for the full game. Harrison with a free kick for Leeds. Kaleta Carr tries to clear it. The effort from Robin Koch comes in but goes well over the bar. So far, first chance goes to Leeds. We just need to keep hold of the ball, basically. Ward-Prowse with a free kick for us towards Kaleta Carr. Aribo's there instead. Meslier can hold onto that headed effort from the Nigerian international. And it does not look like the highlight is finished. Meslier's big kick over the halfway line. A player that we were linked with at the start of the season to be our number 1 goalkeeper. And obviously we brought in Omlin instead. It's Luke Ayling on the right-hand side. 7 minutes. That's all we've got so far on the clock. Ayling gets past 1. His effort is not very good. It goes wide of Omlin's post. Free kick for Ward-Prowse on 20 minutes towards Lavia at the back. Not the best, really, from the youngster. It's cleared. Chileta Sarr collects it. Livramento to Ward-Prowse. Now Bella Kotchap finds Walker Peters, trying to break our way through slowly by the looks of it. Onyeka's ball forward. Aribo was about 4 hours offside. He's hit the underside of the bar anyway. And it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Yep, fully where I said 4 hours offside, not 4 metres. Still not quite at half-time. In fact, only about halfway through the first half. We've got the ball through Lavia. It's blocked. Livramento controls it, gets past his man. And Tino Livramento, after missing basically, 9 months, 10 months worth of football in real life and in the game, has come back with a bang. 1-0 to Southampton. Tino Livramento takes the lead for us after half an hour. And let's just hold on now, pick up 3 more points. Harrison with a free kick for Leeds towards the back post, and they've hit the outside of the post. It goes wide for a goal kick. That goal as well has moved us up into 4th place. We're in a Champions League spot right now. I know Newcastle have got like 2 games in hand over us. Man United, who are plenty of points ahead of us, have got 3 games in hand over us as well. Rodrigo's running towards goal. Omlin just palms it over the bar into the crowd. Corner for Harrison to take just before the half-time whistle then. It's come in towards the middle. Kaleta Carr, Chileta Sarr, even that's his name. It's a very difficult name to say. Cleared the ball. Half-time whistle goes up in Yorkshire. We have the lead thanks to Tino Livramento, and we are looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. Very good performance. Keep it up. Che Adams, rubbish. Apparently, I can't get any performances out of strikers. Strikers are either the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. There is no average performance from a striker. Luke Ayling with a throw for Leeds. Aronson has it, crosses it in. Sinistera is there, and I think it's gone over. It has gone over. I thought Omlin might have got on the end of it, but he didn't. Leeds have had 1 shot on target, now 2 shots on target. The XG is in their favour, but the actual scoreline is in our favour. Right, we're going to do some changes. Mara is going to come on. We're also going to do Ollie Inca coming on as well on the left-hand side. Do we also take off Aribo? We do. Samuel Adozi is going to come on. So this is very much a game where the defence is winning it for us, isn't it? Obviously, the goal from Livramento, but defensively, Bella Kotchap, Kaleta Carr, Walker Peters, all playing pretty well. Lavia as well on a 7.5, which is ridiculously high for a Carolero. And that's it. The full-time whistle goes then. A 1-0 win. Livramento Screamer is the only difference between us. I'm content, but don't get too comfortable. I do need to have a word with you three, because you were not very good. You didn't play very well. Oh, and annoyingly, Lavia has picked up an injury, so he's out for 1 to 2 days, so that's actually not terrible. I want to have a quick look, actually, at Romeo Lavia. Or Romeo Lavia, not Romeo. He's getting a lot better, isn't he? At the start of the season, he wasn't as good as Diallo. Now I reckon he is better than Diallo by a fair distance. In fact, we can compare the two, and they are slightly different players, I guess. But mentally, Lavia is up there. He's definitely better mentally, apart from a couple of little bits here. I mean, actually, when you look at the averages, they are bang smack the same across the board. The only difference is Lavia is a bit heavier than Diallo, which, sure, I mean, that doesn't mean anything, does it? Does it mean anything? We've now got an 8-day wait to play Leicester City at home. Last time we met, it was a 1-1 draw, and Ibrahim Diallo was the man to score the goal. So let's go forward then to the Leicester game. For match number 2 of the episode then, Leicester City at home. It is going to be Omlin, Livramento, Bella Kotchap, Chileta Sarr and Walker Peters in defence. Lavia, Onyeka and Ward-Prowse. I haven't rearranged these. These should be that way round. That's what we want to go with. Aribo and Armstrong on the wings. Shay Adams leading the line for us today. Also, as part of this episode, hopefully we're going to get our youth intake soon. We're in March. That is when we're expecting to get it. And we're expecting a 5-star youth intake. So we're going to hopefully see that in today's episode as well. And by hopefully, I mean we will see it in today's episode. I'm just hoping that we actually have some good players in it. Because last season, or last year's Football Manager, you get a 5-star intake and you get one player who might be able to break into your first team if you're lucky. Now, are Leicester as bad in this as they are in real life? They do have Danny Ward in goal. They've still got Vardy. They've still got Ndidi. They've still got Tielemans. They've still got Soyuncu. They've still got... I mean, it's not a terrible side, is it? Danny Ward is questionable. But then again, we did start the season with Gavin Bazunu, who is also questionable. It's Johnny Evans with the ball. Soyuncu, number 4. Plays it forward to Tielemans. We need to get there first, and we do. Walker Peters is the man. Chileta Sarr, back to Kyle Walker Peters. Reverted to a left-back once Tino Livramento basically returned from his long-term injury. It is Leicester, though, holding on at the moment. Passing it around inside their own half. We're putting the pressure on. But are we actually going to steal the ball? It would be nice if, we got near it. We do get near it. There we go. Lavia is the man to do so. Runs towards goal. Doesn't need any support. And it's a deflected effort into the hands of Danny Ward in goal. That wasn't really a highlight. Livramento with a throw for us. Deep in our territory, though. Gets it back from Bella Kotchap. He's going to go for a run. Is he going to get another goal today? Do you think it's going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen. But, we can dream. Onyeka towards Adam Armstrong. Keeps it in play. Still not scoring anywhere near as many goals as he should be. He's got an XG of like 8 for the season. And he scored very few goals. He scored 2 goals. And that is his second goal of the season. We take the lead against Leicester. 31 minutes played. Like I said in the last match, now all we need to do is hold on. That is probably the first time in about 10 matches where Armstrong has been in that position and hasn't ballsed up the chance. Normally, he'll hit it wide, he'll kick it straight into the keeper, he'll smash it so hard that he breaks the crossbar in half. But this time, he actually put it straight past the goalkeeper. We are 1-0 up at half-time. Sure, we'll do that. Everyone seemed to be reasonably happy. Chileta Sarr not playing amazingly on a 6.4. Ward-Prowse on a 6.6. Aribo on a 6.6 as well. Free kick for Ward-Prowse is a bit of a distance out. I think he did try and shoot that, Adams keeps it in play. Aribo's going to not get there, actually. I thought he was going to get there first. Lavia controls it. Takes a number of touches. Goes off towards the corner flag. Get the cross in, buddy. He's crossed it to Walker Peters. Okay, fair enough. Walker Peters, long-range effort. And this time it's the fullback on the opposite side to score an absolute screamer. That was postage stamp stuff. Right into the top corner. Not a chance for Danny Ward. 2-0 up against Leicester. Right, we need to look at doing some changes. 67 minutes, I think, is on the clock. So Aribo's going to come off. We're going to do a Dozy. We're winning the game. I want to get some of the youngsters like a Dozy, like a Larios, getting them match time, because then hopefully that's going to make them improve. Larios is going to come on for the goal scorer, Carl Walker-Peters. Do we bring on any other children, which is Sekumara? Yes, we do. Into the final 10 minutes. Are we going to get ourselves a third, or is it going to remain 2-0? And this 2-0 will keep us on course for Champions League qualification in the first season, which either I'm the best Football Manager player you've ever seen, or there's something not quite right with the beta. So 29 games played, we are still up in 4th place. Wolves have done us a massive favour by beating Arsenal, which means we are 3 points clear. Newcastle have a game in hand, which I imagine is probably tomorrow. It is, when is it going to be? It's not even tomorrow. When's their game in hand? It's against Wolves on the 3rd of April. Or did I miss them? Have I missed Newcastle? I mean, they've got a game in hand for some reason. Fair enough, whatever. We are now 4th place in the table. We're going to go forward until our Champions League. I'm all excited about the Champions League. Until our youth intake comes in, which is going to come in the next 20 days. So we've got no matches until 20 days' time. So it's going to come before the Man City game, hopefully. Here we are then. 16th of March, 8 o'clock in the morning, actually technically midnight apparently this piece of news came in. We have our youth intake, and we have an elite talent in Theophilus Nweke. Could be his name. I've not clicked on any of these. Is Nweke any good? I mean, mentally he's pretty decent. I mean, he's definitely someone that you'd want to sign. Kenneth Emmanuel, he looks interesting. But he might be one of those players that by the time he's 18, 19, he's hit his peak, and he's not far away from that already. But he, again, looks reasonably tasty. Ben Gillies, is that his name? That's what I'm going to call him. He doesn't look anything special. High work rate and teamwork. Everything else is pretty poor. Hector Banfield looks quite interesting as well. Aerially, he's very good for a 15-year-old attacking midfielder, which I'm not quite sure that's where we're going to be playing him. Arguably, he's the type of player that we could train up to be a centre-back. It's a weird thing. It's the type of thing that I like to do, and I think I might do that as an experiment. He's not very fast, but he is 6'2" and actually reasonable in the air. His tackling is only 6, but his finishing is only 6 as well. I think Hector's going to be a centre-back. He's got 5 positioning. Shouldn't be a problem. Moving further down the list then, Andy Evans is another player that we've got in. We've got Gajeski, could be his name. He doesn't look too bad, does he? Roman Gajeski. I'm liking the look of him. We've got Liam Walsh, who centre-back might be okay. He's not going to be as good as Hector, is he? Jerry Brinkhurst as a right-back. We're starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. Ahmed Al-Fahad, he's fast and can dribble. He might be alright, 16-year-old Saudi with a beard, which is very impressive. Good job, you. I think he's only just turned 16 as well, like a month ago. So I think he might be alright. I think there could be something there. And then I imagine the further down this list we go, they're just getting worse and worse. Daban, goalkeeper, not actually awful, really. Max Thompson doesn't look too bad, but they're saying 2-star potential ability, so he's probably near his peak already. And the final one we'll take a look at is Nikolai Funch Hansen, a 16-year-old Danish left winger, who I think he might be alright. He's got lots of 9s. There's lots of 9s, 8s, 9s, 6s and 7s. So if he bumps those up into double figures, he's going to look like a very good footballer, but he might not be very good. He's one of those, he's a bit deceptive, I think. There's going to be lots of 10s and 11s in his game, which is going to make him look a lot better than he actually is. But, I think he might be alright. You never know with these things. So after they said we were going to have a 5-star intake, we've got a 3-star intake. Nweke is the best one, I think, by a fair distance. He's arguably not too far off getting chances sort of in cup competitions in the first team, and he's only 15. He's soon to be 16. So, I do like Nweke. Is he part English? He's part English and part German, apparently. Fair enough. That is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, I think we might do the final few games of the season. We might actually do Fulham and Bournemouth, because I think... Did we play Brentford on camera already? Or did we play Bournemouth? We played Bournemouth on camera, didn't we? We played Bournemouth on camera. So we might do Fulham and Brentford as the final 2 matches of this season. It's going to be a bunch of games in between the episodes as well. City is going to be tough. Villa, we might be able to win that. We drew 1-1 last time. Brighton, we can win that one. Forest, we should win that one. Liverpool, we're going to lose. Spurs, we're probably going to lose. if we are still up around 4th place come the end of the season, which in theory we should be, this has been a massively successful season so far. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back next time with the final few games of Season 1 of our Southampton Beta Save. Thanks for watching. I was expecting the final games of Season 1 to involve us either battling for staying in the league or meaning absolutely nothing. However, with 3 games left to play against Fulham, Bournemouth and Brentford, it's 19th, 18th and 12th place in the table. We can get Champions League football. We have all but confirmed European football for next season, but we can get Champions League football if we can just do better than Arsenal. Arsenal, by the way, have Villa, Fulham and Leeds, so they've got a reasonably easy run as well. So it's not fully in our favour, is it? They're also in the Europa League semi-finals against Barcelona, so maybe they're going to be a little bit more distracted. In between episodes, we've gone on a reasonable run, scoring a lot of goals, which is important. We did concede 5 against Manchester City, but that's Man City, and everybody knows they're good at football. We beat Villa, we drew 3-3 with Brighton. Our goalkeeper refused to turn up. Everyone else was superb for us, just our goalkeeper was awful. Against Forest, a 2-0 win. Against Liverpool, a 3-2 win. Timo Pukki coming off the bench, scoring twice after the 90 minutes. Aribo scoring as well. We were 2-0 down on the 82nd minute, and we win 3-2. It's a ridiculous turnaround. And there you can see as well, losing against Spurs, not ideal, but Spurs are a good team. And once again in this one, Omlin didn't really turn up. So for match number 1 of the episode against Fulham, it's going to be Omlin, Walker-Peters, Chileta Sarr, Salisu and Maitland-Niles in defence. Is it Walker-Peters? It's not, it's Tino Livramento. It's going to be Ward-Prowse, Lavia and Onyeka in midfield. Armstrong on the wings and Sekumara leading the line because Shea Adams is awful at the moment. His average rating over the last 5 games is a 6.36. He's absolutely terrible. Then again, Stuart Armstrong as well wasn't playing. Joe Aribo will. Now I need to remember that we are a Southampton team that were predicted to finish 16th at the start of the season. So if we lose all 3 of the final games, we've definitely outperformed what we were expecting. So it's not the end of the world if we don't get European football or don't get Champions League football. But still, I do want to get there. 20 minutes on the clock and the first highlight is going our way. Sekumara to Joe Aribo. Holds up play, plays through Sekumara, and Mara almost scores. It's Rodak with the save. We win a corner though. We've been very good from corners lately, so I'm somewhat confident here. Ward-Prowse is going to hopefully stick it on Chileta Sarr's head. He does go for it. It's come back to Ward-Prowse. Adam Armstrong, Chileta Sarr in the penalty area. The centre-back gets tackled by Robinson. The ball is cleared, and that is probably the highlight. Ward-Prowse with a free kick, which is effectively as good as a corner, and Joe Aribo comes in at the back post, heads over the bar. I am struggling to get performances, consistent performances out of wingers and fullbacks. Those are the 2 positions that seem to be very inconsistent, and goalkeepers really. Goalkeepers seem to struggle sometimes as well. Ball forward for Fulham. Salisu intercepts it though. What are you going to do? Big kick down the line towards Adam Armstrong, and he wins the header. He's about 5'9", and he wins a header. Onyeka's going to go for a run down the line. Loses. Nope, doesn't lose to Kenny Tete. Onyeka's going to go for goal. Rodak with a very good save. I don't know why Onyeka didn't pass that. He just ran the whole length of the pitch. Ward-Prowse going to be looking for Chileta Sarr once again from the right-hand side towards... It was actually towards Lavia by the looks of it. Ward-Prowse crosses in again. Tosin Adarabioyo could be his name. It might be his name. Adarabioyo. It is Adarabioyo. I actually said it right first time. And then I just doubted myself. Half-time then it is 0-0. We are just going to go... keep going. We're playing well. We are playing well. We are just due a goal, basically. That's the problem. Marek Rodek is playing superbly well for Fulham, which is causing us some issues. It's Solomon to Harrison Reed. Ward-Prowse steals it away from the former Southampton man. It's not the best pass from Sekumara, and Tete collects it. Can we put some pressure on though? Rodak with the ball inside his penalty area. He's gone for a big lump upfield. Lavia though intercepted. That's good. Salisu, right hand side, inviting Tino Livramento forward with loads of space to run into as well. Can he cross it? Hits the first man. Lavia, are you going to try and get the cross in? Back to Tino. Goes for a run in towards the penalty spot. And somehow it's fallen for Sekumara. Not Sekumara, Marek Rodek. I don't know why I even said Sekumara. It is, we're still only 54 minutes on the clock. Maitland-Niles has the ball. Goes for a big kick over the halfway line. Armstrong's going to get there first. 2 in the box. Can we get a third in there? It's a weird cross. Livramento heads down toward Prowse. Onyeka. We're trying to get our way through. We should be winning this game. We've been the better side by a fair distance. We just cannot find that goal. Lavia tries to find it as well. His effort goes over the bar. I think it might be time for Teemu Pukki. Looking at the performances of everybody else, most people are playing well, so it is only going to be Pukki coming on for Sekou Mara. I'm thinking, like, defensively, Salisu and Maitland-Niles are somewhat struggling, but Fulham aren't really having too many chances. We're just not taking ours. I'm going to give them an encourage. Give them a little shout. We've had 22 shots, 7 on target though, and Rodek has saved every single one of them so far. Full-time whistle is seconds away. Don't do this now. It's a corner for Fulham. Mitrovic hits the bar. Onyeka clears it. Still not quite over. 30 seconds. Fulham have the ball though. Mitrovic tries to play it through to Wilson, but Maitland-Niles gets there first. Salisu lumps it forward towards Pukki, and it's nowhere near him. Harrison Reed's ball forward. Maitland-Niles intercepts it. Livramento's not paying enough attention. It's offside. Is there a highlight here? I feel like there's no highlight taking place. This might just be the end of the game. We've got a free kick. Mohamed Salisu is the man to take it. With his left foot, we're just going to go straight over the top. I can see an Adam Armstrong run coming along if we actually want to take this free kick. Chileta Sarr has it. I think nothing's going to happen. I genuinely think nothing is going to happen in this highlight. And yeah, there you go. What a weird... Why was there a highlight there? Also, why didn't we score a goal? We should have won that game, like 2-0. And to add insult to injury, Arsenal managed to beat Aston Villa 4-1 as well, which means they are now 4 points clear of us in that final Champions League spot. Newcastle are hot on our heels. We are going to go forward, and we're going to miss the Bournemouth game. I'm going to play that off camera. I think it's the Bournemouth game, yep, and we will come back for the final game of the season against Brentford, where hopefully we might still be within a shout of getting Champions League football. Otherwise, let's just hope we beat Brentford. It is the final day of the season. However, we have just got to a squad planning for next season page. We beat Bournemouth 4-0. Peter Olayinka scoring a hat-trick and Romeo Lavia also on the score sheet. They did get Philip Billings sent off. Also, annoyingly, frustratingly, we are looking behind us rather than in front of us. We are going to finish 5th or 6th in the Premier League, which means European football is happening. So let's have a quick look then. For the planning for next season, they are not mentioning Gavin Bazunu for a goalkeeper, which is a concern. But that's fine. I think he might actually be on loan because he's in Mexico. He might be on loan until like December, so he doesn't fully count. I think I'm happy with Omlin. McCarthy is a backup. We might sell McCarthy. We're going to have Mateus Liss back as well from a loan. Right back, you can see now players that will be joining the club as well. Walker-Peters, Livramento, Kasunu will be joining in the summer. He's not coming in as a right back, but again, I'm happy with that. Left back, similar situation. Walker-Peters, Perro, Larios. We've got some good numbers. Centre backs. Lots and lots of centre-backs. Kasunu and Marin coming in. We've got Bednarek and Lianco returning from loan spells as well. Trying to sell Bednarek. See how well that does. From a midfield perspective, happy. I mean, I'm not really needing to buy any new players at the moment. So going through, there's nobody new coming in. We seem to have enough depth everywhere. Right wing could be an issue. Armstrong is now 31. Aribo isn't necessarily a natural right winger. So maybe we need to look at maybe bringing in a new right winger, left winger as well. Armstrong has started to find his form. He's the only left winger we've got. We've got Olayinka as well, but Olayinka doesn't really do a huge amount. I say that as he literally scored a hat-trick. And up front, Adams, Mara, Pukki, maybe we've got a season left in him. So maybe a new striker in the summer as well. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. We've got a few new players coming in. You've seen some of them. I think you've probably seen all of the names, actually. We are now going to play Brentford for the final game of the season, and hopefully we can finish 5th. So the starting lineup then for the Brentford game will be Omlin, Livramento, Chileta Sarr, Salisu and Walker-Peters, Ward-Prowse, Diallo and Lavia, Aribo, Armstrong and Dom Ballard leading the line. And you might be asking, why is Dom Ballard playing? Basically, in real life, he should be in and around the first team. He is scoring goals for fun for the under-21s or 23s or whatever, and the under-18s. He should be in and around the first team. He's played once off the bench in the league so far this season. I'm going to give him a start, see how well he does. He's also wanted by 11 clubs, and they're all transfers as well. If anything, I'd loan you out, mate. You should be going out on loan next season, getting some experience. So we do need to keep an eye on what's going on behind us. And I think Newcastle are playing Forest. They are. Forest team who have finished bottom of the table. So you have to expect that Newcastle are going to win that match. 5 minutes on the clock. And already somehow Lavia's picked up a yellow card. I'm not even sure how he's managed to do that. Damsgaard with a ball for Brentford down their left-hand side. Livramento with a kick. That is going to be a free kick. I think that was outside the area. If Livramento's getting booked, it means he is suspended for the first game of next season, I think. We are getting VAR, and it is not a penalty. I told you it wasn't a penalty. Are we going to see the free kick? Livramento, are you going to get a yellow card? You're not. You're getting told to calm down. We do get to see the free kick. Mikael Damsgaard is the man to take it with his right foot from the left-hand side towards the back post, and it is a good save from Omlin. 7 minutes on the clock, and Don Ballard is getting involved, stealing the ball off Ethan Pinnock. Tries to get there again. Back to David Raya. In the Brentford goal to Janssen. On the ground. We need to steal this away because Brentford have... They're one of these teams that are actually... They've got very good players, but I don't know any of them. It's like Mbeumo and Ivan Toney, everyone's heard of. They know of those guys. They're good at football. Christopher Azure, I know of him. They're good at football. But players like Ethan Pinnock, I don't think is a bad footballer. I just don't know what he does. I feel like I'm just insulting Ethan Pinnock there, but they're a team that I would say goes under the radar. Annoyingly, Newcastle have taken the lead. Okay, that's a concern. We do need to score a goal and ideally have a shot on target. Probably shouldn't have played an 18-year-old Don Ballard with like 8 finishing as our lead striker. Aaron Hickey controls it. Mbeumo, long-range effort, rattles the underside of the bar, and Livramento can clear our lines. Forest as well pulled a goal back and then immediately got pegged back again. So it's 2-1 to Newcastle in that game. I think if it stays this way, we are still finishing in 5th place purely because of goal difference. Half-time, it's 0-0, and we've started to come back into it. What did I even say there? Keep going. I'm going to say keep going to everybody. You weren't that bad. You have the ability. Right, that didn't really work, did it? We're going to go straight into the second half. Adam Armstrong is having a shocker once again. So is Don Ballard. It disappoints me that youngsters can't perform. I played Nathaniel Boot in a match, and he was rubbish. So the fact that Don Ballard is also playing badly. What is Armstrong doing? Ollie Inker's coming on. We're going to do Shay Adams coming on as well. We are, I don't even know what time we're on. 60 minutes on the clock, apparently. We are being kept in this game by Jonas Omlin, even. I can never say his name properly. Newcastle are doing everything in their power to claw back the goal difference. If it stays this way, I do think we are going to finish in 5th if it stays a 0-0 draw. And I'm worried that Brentford are going to get a chance and score. Right, let's do some more changes. Maitland-Niles is going to come on. Walker-Peters is going to move over to be the right back. What else do we do? Ward-Prowse is having a poor game, but he is the type of player that if you need him, he can do something special. So we're going to do that. Armstrong's going to come on for Lavia. We're going to drop Aribo to be the box-to-box, I guess. Don't really have too many other options, do we? We've got no central midfielders because of injuries and fitness and things like that. We've got 4 minutes to play to hold on. 88th minute, Ollie Inker's stolen the ball for us. Plays it on the ground towards Stuart Armstrong. It wasn't the best pass, but Ollie Inker's got that ball back. And Ollie Inker really should have scored. He scored 3 against Bournemouth. He should have got 1 against Brentford. We do have a corner, and this is why I wanted to keep Ward-Prowse on, because he is the best at corner taking. He's got 20 corner taking, is what I'm trying to say. Ward-Prowse steps up. Newcastle are 5-1 up against Forest. Kaleta Carr is there. He's not going to get it. Ward-Prowse gets another chance. Ollie Inker, first time shot, and it's found its way into the back of the net. Peter Ollie Inker, his 7th goal of the season. We take the lead, and we should be finishing 5th place. It should have been so much more comfortable than what it was, but we have finished our first season in FM23. Jonas Omlin getting an 8.0 rating, saving 10 chances. 17 shots for both sides. Only 4 on target for us, but we managed to get that winner. We have finished 5th place in the Premier League in our first season in FM23. And because of that, we have qualified for the Europa League, which means we get to see the fancy new Europa League graphics, which is something I feel like I will never see for a very long time in this Football Manager game. Finishing 5th as well, £30.9 million. Liverpool crowned champions on the final day of the season. What happened? Liverpool beat Spurs 2-0. What happened to Man City? They beat Villa 4-0. I think they were already champions anyway. End of season review then. Our first season. Has this changed at all? I imagine it probably hasn't. Signing of the season is Jonas Omlin, which is no real surprise. Obviously, there are a lot of players that we personally didn't sign that are going to be on this list. Let's not talk about the cup competitions because we played one match in each and lost both of them. From a Premier League perspective, that was ridiculously good, wasn't it? We had a blip sort of around October, November time into December, and then second half of the season was spectacular, wasn't it? We lost the games where you'd expect us to lose, the Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Man Cities and Spurs, and we won the games where we were expected to maybe get a draw. So we've had a very good second half of the season. 66 points. So income for the season, with obviously 90 million for TV. So that's 110, that's 140, 145 million pound income for the season. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? We've also got a 2-year sponsorship deal as well, worth £1 million, which actually doesn't sound that great, does it? Team of the season. This is where I'm worried, because when you look at the goals, every single outfield player in that 11 there scored at least a goal. Most of them scored at least 2 goals. Some of them scored at least 3 goals. We're getting goals, which actually isn't a terrible thing, but they're not coming from the right players. Our back 4 in that team of the season has 10 goals between them. That's as many goals as we have in midfield. History in the making. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. Well, that's good to hear. Scott Donan from the Daily Star has said that spell of football to close out the season was the making of Southampton. It definitely was. Like I said, that was where we suddenly turned up. Monica Diaz from Planet Football. Southampton looked a class above anyone. Really? Anyone around them? I guess, kind of, apart from Arsenal. When they went for a late in the season. Well, I can't read, okay? We're just going to go for that. And here is the new fancy thing. The new fancy thing. So, what have we done already? There's a lot of things showing up. So, dream come true. Hired as the Saints manager, as a Saints fan. And then immediately sold a fan favourite of Theo Walcott to AC Ajaccio. Then we spent £1 million on Namdi Collins, apparently. We agreed the signing of Rafa Marin from Real Madrid, signing Adilian Kasunu from Bayer for £4 million. It's a bit more than £4 million. Romeo Lavia was nominated for the Next Gen. He finished 11th, I think, in the Next Gen Awards. We've also signing a man called Ishaku Abdul Fatwa, who is coming in from Porto in the next season. And we have qualified for the Europa League. I can see this being extremely fun when you have sort of a long season, a long career, 10, 15 years career, and you can see this and you go all the way back to, like, you can read the thing here about Kasunu when you sign him for £4 million and you're really excited because he's just won the World Golden Boot. Not sure why a centre-back would do that, but, you know. Oh, and this is interesting as well. So the supporter profile, the hardcore fans have gone down, the core fans have gone down, but we're getting more fair weather and family supporters, apparently. Okay, fair enough. We've also picked up 130,000 new followers on Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, Bebo, and all those guys. And the final piece of news that I think we're going to talk about in this episode, in this season, Carl Walker-Peters scored goal of the season as well. And if I'm not mistaken, this goal was even on camera a couple of episodes ago, because I think Livramento scored the match before, and then Walker-Peters scored this one. So it comes out to Walker-Peters, one-touch control, little pass forward, straight into the top corner. That is goal of the season from a right-back playing as a left-back. Oh, and Jonas Omlin, second-place Golden Glove winner. That's good. That is going to do it for this episode and this season of FM23 in the beta with Southampton. Next season, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in some sort of player faces, club badges, things like that. I always want to do the first season without any of it. I don't think it's going to cause any problems. It never seems to, but, you know, it's a beta and all that jazz. Yeah, so next season, it's going to look a little bit more like what you'd expect a regular FM Skinnz video to look like, with all the badges and all sorts of things like that. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to have, as I mentioned previously, lots and lots of FM23 content coming forward in the future. If you did enjoy this one, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back next time with Season 2 with Southampton in the Europa League.